So as you can see, we picked up a crazy old fan. This is an early Lasko, not as quite as early as the 4-blader back there. It's got the plastic knobs and the indentation. It does have a thermostat, which is kind of unusual. It's lost its handle, which is interesting. I don't know what kind of handle it would have had. It's got 4 blades. However, it's more like the Galaxy that I have, because it's got the white blade hub and it's got that type of blade. There's an earlier blade, and then there's the 4-blade guy, like we have there. So this is like a transitional fan, I think. And one of the other reasons we see that is if we turn it around, we see that we in fact have a motor brace, which is the later design, as opposed to the 4-blade back there, and some of the middle ones have the motor attached to a very substantial rear grille. But here we see we don't have that. We're going to have to get this one apart, see if we can free the blades up. It's just totally stuck. Then hopefully, once it's unstuck, it'll run properly and not run too many amps, obviously. If not, then it's trashed and we got to find a motor for it. So first thing we'll do is we'll hit the blade hub. Now I have a 3-blade puller, which is probably not going to work on this 4-blade hub. So we might have to pick up a 2-jaw puller if these don't want to come off, which I don't expect them to want to come off, but that's the deal. So it's got some surface rust and stuff. Some rust in the bottom, especially down where the cage is, but the stand is okay. The knobs are all right. It's got all 4 feet and a little sticker. Not sure what that tells us. And again, it's a Breezemaker, but this is a Lasko. So I'm going to take the grills off and we'll start seeing what's going on. All right, I took the fan off the stand, which wasn't that bad. I always do that on a table so it's easier to handle, and came off pretty good. Notable that it's got its pretty much original cord, and to grommet, we're looking at, we got a little open area here, so new cord for this guy for sure. Let's get the grills off. Okay, so front grill's off, and I just was able to move the blades by hand for now. They were very stiff, and now they're moving, so I plugged it in. We do have a thermostat, which affects everything, but if I put it on cooler, then here she goes. There you go. Turn it down to low. It needs to be oiled, so it's not going to be right on low. Yeah, obviously. And we'll shut it down just to do it. So at least we know it'll spin. So here's the story on this one. Saw it on Craigslist for $100, and I emailed the guy, said $100 or make me an offer. So I hit him up. I said, hey, how about 40 bucks? He said, how about 50? Let's meet tomorrow. So I went over there with 50 bucks, and we plugged it in, and it didn't move. I said, okay, look, man, it's stuck, and it could be blown, whatever. I said, why don't you make a deal with me? Help me out here. He said, could you do 30? I said, I'll do 25. So I walked with this stand fan for 25. It turns out it does work. So we'll get the blades off. I'm going to hit it with some of the super spray. We're going to do the whole thing. This has got the twisted line, which is strange, and it's very bad shape. So we're just going to have to go ahead and rewire this to the best of our meager abilities. And it does have a thermostat here as well. Somebody put a handle on it. I'm not sure what kind of handle this would have had. Again, this is a sort of a transitional fan. Next time we do a video on this, I'll bring the other Galaxies out and we'll do a look at all. We'll do a Galaxy retrospective, you know what I mean? This week in Galaxy retrospective, you know, so anyway, that's the deal. There's no oil ports on this thing, but at least it's not totally frozen up, so we should be okay. The rear grills do not want to come off. These fans are interesting because they have these little sleeves. See that? There's a little sleeve for the grill. And on the other side, they're totally rusted. I hit a little PB blaster. Who knows if that's going to help at all. But that's the deal. So we're going to try and clean this guy up and get it so that it's running right. So that's the plan with this. This is a Lasko Breezemaker, as you can see. I really need to stop buying fans, but this is something I've been looking for. I wish it had a snap switch, but it does not. So there she is. That starts up better right away. So once we get some oil in here, hopefully we'll find it to run pretty nice. 3.1. That might be a little high for this fan. We'll have to see. So there it is coming down. 3 point something amps is awfully high. There's a sticker underneath. Let's see what it says. All right, so we have model 4737, 2.8 amps at 115 and 60 cycles. So, and we have a date probably, May of 68 maybe, so let's say this was made in 68. Now, it was just running at 3.3 amps and we're at 220 volts. It should tell me what's coming into the house. 126. So that's pretty high, which would give us a little bit of a higher amp draw. So maybe that's what we're experiencing there, because this is way more than 120 coming into the house here. So so even though we're expecting a little lower, because we're running so much coming into the house, that might explain why it was running the way it was. So the next thing is we'll try and get the bleeds off. All right, so this is definitely the transitional model right before the other one that I have. That one doesn't have a date on it, but it's got the same blade hub except it's 3 blades. It's got the square blade screw, which is, these are the only fans, not a lot of fans have that. Let's see if it'll turn for me. Okay, I'm going to do that off camera. Alright, so I got that weird set screw out. Let's see if the blades move. I'm not that hopeful without a puller, but let's see what happens. All right, every time I do this, they just pop and they pop off. I never get it on the recording, so I'm hoping that that recording this doesn't jinx me. Yeah, these aren't moving. Well, they might have moved a little bit. They did indeed move a little bit. They did move. Okay, so no. This will sit flat. That's not going to work. I had tried ball bearings before. Let me get something better to tap with too. That's not going to work either. We really do need a puller for this. Our 3-jaw puller is probably not going to work, but let's try it. Alright, I've got it moving. It just won't come past a certain point. A little oil. See if a little oil will do something. Almost got it off of there. There we go. Giant blades. Check them out. Okay, here's our RMR motor. Pretty dirty. So our next deal will be to try to get it Get it unmounted. This is all going to be very... Oh, this thing really wants to fall over on this little table. But the wiring's, I don't know, it doesn't seem too brittle, but we've got to put a new plug wire on it anyway. So that's our deal. Pretty stiff. No up and down play, but you never know. And then only a little bit in and out. So our motor, these are notorious for being kind of, I think, kind of cheap motors and not lasting. But we'll see if we can get this oiled up and get it to run nice. And so there you go. More to come on this.